Hey guys, and welcome to 6 non-unique dinos that you probably didn't know you need, but you definitely need on your team. And as you can see, the first one we're going to be talking about is the Parasaur. He is a Guardian variant, and he starts looking like this after you have fed it the group god for the Guardian Soul. Then he's going to be able to use all the abilities. Now, what makes him truly overpowered is that unique saddle that is a pain to get, but it gives it a elemental variant, which is great whenever you're farming Paragon gods because it does the elemental sickness and it removes that damage reduction that they have. The Paragons are a little bit on the heavier side. It's on 6, and he might take some extra time to collect all the Paragons for him, but since he's a non-unique, you can breed it up to 254 health, and he will probably be one of your best farming tanks you can possibly get your hands on. The next one we have, and you all know recognize, is the Galley Prey. This one right here is a Rage variant. The Rage variant intends to tick a little faster, and what makes him truly strong and overpowered is the unique saddle. The unique saddle is a must for him for that reactive ability damage and the multiplier depending on which way you go with him. To make this one, you need to collect a lamprey and a Gallium together in the Gen Splicer, and you will make this thing with soul shards. Now, because this one is a non-unique, you can breed them up and then combine them, and you will get the stats you desire. To get the paragons for this one, you'll need to have a lamprey paragon and a Gallium paragon. Put them in your Gen Splicer and combine them there, and they're not too heavy. The two used to combine is 1 and 2, so it shouldn't take you too long to farm these up. Next runner up, we most of you probably know this one. It is the Lychosaurus. What makes him really strong is because he is a Doed and a Leech combined together, and he looks very funky. We call him Mace. His saddle gives him a whole bunch of buffs and extra damage, 500% melee damage. He can overheal. He's forced to 20 times the multiplier. And his paragons, so you need a leech and a doet together to make him. And then to make the Lechosaurus paragon, you'll need a leech and a doet together to make the paragon for him, and that's done in the Jane Splicer. Just hit combine and it will combine them for you. For solo players, he is very nice. He's very tanky, so you don't have to worry about them dying because they can heal themselves plus your potion dino, and it should make it a lot easier for you guys. The next one we have is the Enforcer. He's more on the utility side. His saddle gives him able to be shoulder mounted. It does permanent reactive damage and provides the player with 100% magic find when it's mounted. Also gives the player 50% damage reduction, and you know this is working when you see on the bottom right of your screen, or right now on the top right of your screen, Magic Find is should be constantly taking. He doesn't really need any paragons to be mounted, but if you have him and you want to use it on him, make him a little tanky, just in case you die to survive until you get there. It's not a bad idea. When you have him on your shoulder, you'll see a dodge coming up. That's just a reactive damage ticking, and it's just not damaging you. It's just permanently a dodge. I think that's how the modder coded it to be, so the player can get the magic find instead of the dino doing the damage. If the dino was doing the damage, you would not get the magic find buff on your player. And we have another tank here for you guys. We have a Snail, an elemental variant. We use the elemental variant because again the elemental sickness is very strong, removing any damage reduction any boss that we are fighting could have. But what's a must for this tank is the saddle, which gives a 90% damage reduction, consumes stamina before health, and taunts while it's shielded. We were actually using this for the longest time until we bred up our Parasaur and we found our Vash to be a tank, and the paragons for it are just a humble 3 weighted, so they're not too hard to come by. and it's a very good first tank for anybody starting on a new server. And it's pretty tanky. We use it for a while. Unfortunately, it does not have a shield, so just make sure whatever your DPS dino is that can take a hit or two from the bosses. Now, last but not least, we have the Galley Mammoth. The Galley Mammoth is, we only use it for disruption. So this is a disruptor one. The reason is because the saddle has a 50% reduced ability cooldown, which instead of being 50 seconds for the cooldown, it's at 24. It just directly halves it. And it's very useful for fighting jackpot, very useful for any of the lucky variants that have high dodge chance. Even some of the saddle gods that are soul variant, you can use this to disrupt them and kill them faster. Now you don't need paragons for it, but if you do, it's weighted at 2, and maybe you want it a little tanky just in case it takes a hit, and it will hopefully survive, but I will definitely get a breeding pair before you use it. Thank you guys for tuning in to my 6 non-unique dinos that you probably could use on your team. If you guys enjoyed my content, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps me out tremendously. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them down below. I answer all my comments to the best of my abilities, even in different languages. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day.